So, what does expanding spirit really mean? Hello, my friends. It's John here in what will become a studio in the near future. I'm in the process of building it right now. This has been my sit and love room for a very long time, and it is being changed into another studio so that I can deliver more love to the world. I find that I've been sitting in love in my living room on my back deck and finding that I can sit in love anywhere, and that this space could be more an expression of love than a sacred space, because every place is sacred. But I wanted to talk in this video about what expanding your spirit really is, because the channel has been changed to the Expanding Spirit channel. So let's talk first about the word spirit. You know, Einstein said that everything that we're looking at is nothing but atomic energy in motion. And over 90% of that atomic energy is empty space, and the remaining small portion is in motion. That means that everything that you're looking at in that room that you're in is made of atoms. And that means everything in your vision is over 90% empty space. In other words, the wall beside you is atoms, and the air between you and the wall is atoms, and your eyes are atoms. All you really are is your consciousness, your beliefs. The non-corporeal part of yourself is your wholeness, is who you really are. The world itself is an expression within this illusion of motion. And what is that? In the beginning is the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John said that our words, our thoughts, our beliefs go out to God, and God reflects those words, thoughts, and beliefs in the image around us. To expand your spirit is to step into that awareness of your own personal divinity. Expansion means that I'm becoming broader. I'm widening. You know, religious ideologies, be they new or old, will tell you that something's ahead of you to chase. But I'm telling you that expansion is something that's present. It's in the I am moment. It's in the here and now. You choose to be in expansion. You choose to grow your awareness. Itzhak Bernays talked about the consciousness and the levels of awareness in consciousness. And there's this one level where we're all separate and we're only aware of ourselves. And then as we start to expand our awareness, we start to overlap with the people in our lives. We start to finish each other's sentences. We start to think things and say things that are in alignment with what they were thinking and saying at the moment. And it ties all in because we're connected to the people around us. And then there's another greater awareness where we expand out further and we come to know that all the other people around them, we start to feel and experience the world from the feelings of the energy that's surrounding us and what they're thinking and believing. The expansion is to step out and grow into that greater awareness. But what are we growing into? We're growing into the non-corporeal, the spirit, the oneness of God, that energy around us that is the expression of all of us and our beliefs. So expanding spirit is about stepping out of the individual awareness self and becoming more aware of our connection to one another, more aware of our ability to live in harmony with the world. And it's about expanding our spirit out enough to recognize our own divinity. And this is the struggle that most people have, is they have a hard time thinking of themselves as divine because their ideologies have told them they're not. They're unworthy, they're guilty, they're sinners, they're trying to get to something ahead of them because they're not enlightened. No matter what the ideology is, it's not present. It's not here and now expanding your own belief in the present moment. Expanding means we're in motion. This channel is not about giving you beliefs. It's about reminding you what's already within yourself, that you have the power within, that you need no middlemen, that spirituality is in the present moment, and your present moment beliefs and choices are your own. And you have the ability to create from that perspective. My friend Joshua said that the kingdom of heaven is within you. And when you look at it from the perspective of the kingdom of heaven being within you, that means the spirit of heaven, the intention of heaven, the energy of the atoms, everything is within you because you are one with that. He also said, the Father and I are one, and you must become one with me as I am with the Father, saying that we are all one with one another. This idea is not about dogma or religion. It's about simple truth. We live in a place of our own creation. And truth is subjective. I understand that. Many people believe different things. They all have different truths. But when you start to strip away the dogmatic truths, you start to find a very simple truth within. You see, negative people see a negative world because they believe the world is negative. And so the world reflects a negative world back to them because they are the pinpoint of creation. They are creation itself. They are one with God. And though they may not acknowledge it or accept it and choose to live in the life of a victim, they are also choosing in this moment to deny that they're creating it. Because that is the key, is the fact that you are creating this. Expanding spirit is about turning inward, not outward. It's about not looking for things that will save you ahead of yourself. It's about living within the divinity that you carry always, the connection to God that's found in the bottom of every breath. You always within you, always there, always present, and you are the director of the experience. The Bible says, whatever you ask in God's name is granted, and Moses said God's name is I am. I am. In this moment, I am creating. And it's as simple as what you believe about the now. I am is a present moment declaration. It's not a present moment subjugation. You're not subjugated to somebody else's beliefs. It is, I am this. I am a Catholic, you will be subjugated to Catholic doctrines. I am a Buddhist, you'll be subjugated to Buddhist beliefs. I am God. I am love. The Bible says ye are gods. In other words, it's not a vanity exercise. What it is it's a development awareness. I realize that I am creating my experience. I realize that I am living into a world of my own making. The Buddha said, be the lamp unto yourself. Work out your liberation with diligence. With diligence. Be the lamp unto yourself. First of all, that means that the light is already within you. You are the one who is enlightening yourself. The word enlightenment, people often think it means the big light show. It means stripping away all doctrines, all dogmas, all ideologies, and coming back to the understanding that your simple present moment belief is creative. Here in the now, you are creating the experience. And the more you take your present moment experience and make it a conscious choice in the now, diligently creating them over and over again, what happens is it becomes the habit. You become the habitual self of beauty and love. And in that habitual self of beauty and love, you come to the space of realizing that it's all coming from you choosing to shine the light on yourself and on the world as well. The world is full of all kinds of ideologies, and each ideology is like a train on a track. Each ideology will give you the view out the window of what their track says you'll see out of their train. So you will only see what that track allows you to see. But when you start to strip away, you start to rise up, and you start to look at all of the tracks and realize they're all in the same world, and that world is a sphere, and on the other side of that world, they all come together as one. The idea of your track being the one way is a fallacy. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. There is no one way. There are many ways. And it all comes down to you choosing to be love. And the more simple you make it, the easier you make it, the more simple and easy your life becomes. Because the complexity of doctrines and dogmas make your life harder because they are the limitations of your experience. They're telling you, these are your parameters, you must live within them. And in reality, there are no parameters. The world is infinite because the universe is infinite and we're just a part of the universe. Expanding spirit means you stop outsourcing your spirituality. You stop outsourcing it. You stop looking to that next guru, that next teacher, that next doctrine, that next dogma, that next religion, that next new age belief. And you stop outsourcing to that and you come back to the true inner self, trusting your inner light, knowing that you can shine that light upon yourself, that you have that ability, that there is no destined hell ahead of you or destined heaven ahead of you. It's you can bring the kingdom of heaven to earth here and the now, but it's all about stepping into your role in divinity. Ye are gods. Whatever you ask in God's name is granted if you have faith. Faith just means belief, and God's name, according to Moses, is I am. Rumi said, stop acting small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. So this is not a biblical quote. This is a Rumi quote talking about that you are the universe in ecstatic motion. we talked about the energy of the universe being an energy in motion. Well, that energy is directed by your belief. That energy is directed by your expression, but all of it is in motion. Your thoughts are in motion. The energy is in motion. The universe is in motion. And you are the universe in ecstatic motion. You are the creation of this experience. And the more you live into the idea that you can create, that you are in this space of beautiful motion, that you can take the journey that you wish to. You have the journey that you're creating, but you can only create it in the now, because the future is just a place where you set goals. And the past is just a collection of present moment memories. But here in the present moment is the only moment that you've ever experienced anything. And it's the only moment that you're creating everything. So by stepping into this moment of creation and living into the now and understanding that you are the heartbeat of your reality, people shrink themselves because of their ideologies, their religions, their parameters of self. But their self is infinite. It's one with the universe. It's one with God. And you have the ability to take this self and express it outwardly. Now, you can express it fearfully or out of love. And when you choose the latter, you will find your world is tenfold surrounded by love. And that love is the creation of your new world, your new life. You have that ability. It's just a matter of believing it and stepping into your power. But you're told by the ideologies themselves that you're not divine, that you do not have the power. But even Joshua said, ye are gods. Expanding spirit is reminding yourself of your unlimited nature, that there are no limits on who or what you can be. Expanding your spirit is breaking out into the awareness of your connection with everything and understanding that that person in front of you who's having a hard time, you can deliver love in that moment and change their experience just by being in the present and being now.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
In Hinduism, there's a quote, the self is light, the light that shines beyond all things on earth, beyond us all, beyond the heavens, beyond the highest, beyond the very highest heavens. This is that light, and that light shines within man. So even in Hinduism, they're talking about the light within. Buddhism talked about shine the light upon yourself. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Now we're talking about repetitive understanding that we are the power. We are the light of the world. You are the light of the world, is a quote that Yeshua said to his followers. You are the light of the world. Understanding that light within, that as the Hindus would call it the Atman, that light within is the direct presence of your divinity. And that light within is directable. It's a spotlight. You can point it towards the life you want and shine your light on that. You can see someone in pain and shine love on them and have them ease and watch them exhale. Watch them come to that place of comfort because you've shined the light of love upon them. The light is within you, and you can direct that light in any way you choose. It's just a matter of making the choice and believing it makes a difference. I hope I'm demonstrating that this truth of your inner power, your inner divinity, is found across many ideologies, but it is one of the universal truths that you find everywhere. And when you look at it from that perspective and realize that if all the power is within, that I don't need the dogmas and doctrines without. I can be in my own power. I can expand my spirit awareness to my divinity and understand that I am creative and I can love the world and the world will love me in return because I'm choosing to love first. You've often heard the word forgive. I think it's spelled wrong. I think it's FORE-give. In other words, give love first. Be the love first so that the love can be reflected back to you in the image of God that's around us. And we are created in God's image, which is this energy that Einstein spoke of. But we sometimes struggle with this idea of our own divinity. And even Yogananda said, you do not have to acquire anything to find God. You must only remove the veil of ignorance that hides God within you. You are the God within. God lives within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Right within yourself, there is this power of creation. And that power of creation is your divinity if you so choose. Because in that divinity, you get to choose being a victim. You get to choose being subjugated to an ideology. You get to choose those things, and God will lovingly give you that experience. It does not say whatever you ask in God's name is granted if it's good. It says whatever you ask in God's name is granted if you have faith. And what you put faith in is the experience you'll have in life. If you choose to be a victim of circumstance and a victim to the stimulus of other people's fears and anxieties, then you're going to live in subjugation to those ideas. Until you acknowledge you're writing your own story, you'll be a character in someone else's. You are writing your story because the power to write it is within you. The light on the page that's before you is showing you a blank page, and you can choose to write a comedy or a tragedy. The choice is always yours because the power is always yours. To expand your spirit is to remove the obstacles. It's not adding new beliefs. It's stripping away beliefs that remove the lampshades that hide the light within you. It gives you the ability to let your truth shine, to show it to the world, to be the love in the now. Stripping away all of the doctrines and dogmas and ideologies brings you back to your core self, which is your authentic self, the place where you laugh, the place where you love, the place where you express yourself without fear of someone not loving you for who you are. That authentic self within yourself is the direct expression of God because God wants you to live happy. Because God wants you to live because the universe is a reflection. God is a reflection of your belief because that's what you've been told. Whatever you ask in God's name, I am. I am suffering. I am struggling. I am a victim of. I am a Catholic. I am a Buddhist. I am a Hindu. I am a Muslim. I am is going to give you the parameters of your reality. People ask me what my religion is all the time. I say I am John and I am love because that's my conscious choice. It's also my simple expression of self. To love one another, to be the love in the now, to express the love in the now, to share the love that I feel within me and that I see within all of you. Everyone has the love within them. I traveled to 30 countries around the world, and I've asked in every country what was most important to people. They always said their family. They never said their religion. They never said their money. They never said their job. They always said their family. But what is family? Family is the direct representation of love on earth. The most important thing in their life was their family, which means love is at the forefront. Love is the most important thing. And to be that love and to choose to be that love in the now and to live that love in the now gives you the ability to expand your spirit by loving others. I leave you one commandment: love one another. And when you step into that power of that loving one another, you are expanding your spirit because you're no longer looking at only yourself. You're looking at loving others. You're looking at expanding out into that experience. You're looking at that person, finding out their need and helping them find it and giving them the solution to their lack, giving them the abundance of your love and allowing them to step into their own power as well. Khalil Gibran said, God is not in the sky, but in the seed of your soul. It all stems from within. It all comes from within. The seed of your soul. In other words, the seed, what you are planting outside from your soul, from yourself, from your inner being, from your light. The book of Matthew says you will know them by their fruit. Well, if your fruit is love, then you are literally being known by your soul. If you are delivering love, that is the seed you're planting. And love grows and flourishes into a beautiful tree of love, which allows us to express a world that is covered in love. That idea that you are planting seeds of love by your inner divinity and your choice is something that empowers you to be more loving, be more caring. And understand when someone's not being that, it's because their fear is shining through. If they're mad, sad, frustrated, angry, all of those negative emotions are coming from fear. And fear is the illusion of love's absence. So they're afraid. They're afraid of not being loved, experiencing love, and having love, because love is the most important thing. And what happens? You come along and you forgive. You give love first. You give love first. And when you give that love first, the next thing that happens, they feel love. The thing they've been searching for their whole life, the thing they've wanted to have in their experience. And you've just delivered it. And so what can they do? they can let that seed grow in their own heart and step into their own divinity because you've chosen to plant a seed. That's the choice Khalil Gibran is talking about. It's the choice to not only be the love, but to plant a seed of love without. Vivekananda says that the kingdom of heaven is within us. We are the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Vivekananda says this very clearly, that the kingdom of heaven, everything, heaven is everything. The kingdom of heaven is within us, and it reflects without. We are the children of the immortal bliss. Notice how he doesn't say the immortal deity that stands outside of ourselves. He says we are the children of immortal bliss, the feeling of love, the feeling of compassion. God speaks to us in feelings, not thinkings. And when we express ourselves through our feelings, when we deliver love through our feelings, and we make other people feel the love from us, they are nurturing the seed of love within themselves. And what happens is they allow themselves to feel it. That is the nurturing. That is the watering of the seed of the tree of love within themselves. To expand your spirit is to recognize your true identity. Beyond sin, beyond fear, beyond separation, you're recognizing within yourself that you are whole, you are complete, you are one with God, you are one with the universe. And this expanding spirit and this declaration that the spirit is expanding is showing you this greater divinity of the world itself as one, and understanding your part in that. When my son was 6 years old, he said, "Daddy, God told me he's in everything and everyone, and we control the God part inside of us." I think it's one of the clearest statements I've ever heard about oneness. We're part of one, in everything and everyone, and we control our part of it. We understand and deliver our part of it through our own beliefs, our own thoughts, our own ideologies. And to expand your spirit is to live from that truth. It's to come from that expression of self that is divine, that understands that you are one with everything, and that the universe is just an expression of your belief. Eckhart Meister said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one eye, one seeing, one knowing, and one love." In other words, once again, this is another person declaring that God is within. The understanding of this truth that these amazing teachers are talking about, and about our oneness to God, is not about separation. It's not about denominations or divisions. It's about oneness with all, one with everything, with the universe itself. To understand that we are part of God, that we are delivering God, that we are the pinpoint of creation itself, and that choice of divinity within ourselves gives us the experience of our life without. And when we look at the world, we say, okay, I am love. I am John and I am love, and I am expressing love in the world. I had a beautiful breakfast this morning with a relative. And I talked to her about what she had been creating in her life and the joy that was exuding from her, the love that was exuding from her. Because she took these beliefs that I spoke about in this video and she expressed them into the world. And the world came back and gave her everything she wanted. And she was so joyful and so loving and so caring and putting out her own truth without limitation of belief or expectation of what others, or trying to live into the expectations of someone else. She just chose to be the creator of her experience, and her entire world changed. Expanding spirit means to turn inward, to recognize your own light, to remove the veils of fear and dogma, and remember your true nature as divine, to know that you are one with God, that you are one in the divinity of God. And in that divinity, ask yourself if you're ready to stop acting small and begin living as the universe in ecstatic motion. You're in the right place, the only place you'll ever be, in the present moment, in the now, in the expression of life. This channel, the Expanding Spirit channel, is all about helping you find that divinity within so that you can create. This channel doesn't ask you to follow. It asks you to lead. This channel doesn't ask you to live into the doctrines and dogmas of my ideology or anyone else's. It asks you to strip away and find your truth, find your personal truth. My mother one time said to me that spirituality is a personal journey. and we each must find our own truth. That's what this channel is about. You finding your own truth. You expanding your spirit to something broader than one train track, and that you can now expand into something more beautiful, more simple. And until now, it's been so simple, it's been hard to comprehend. But right here, right now, be the love in the only moment you'll ever live, the I am moment. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.